Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. For today, I'm going to be showing you guys how I draw portraits on black paper. Right now, what you're seeing on the screen is one I previously did. That's not what we're getting into. This is just kind of for show. I mean, I did record this one too, but the quality was just not it. So I kind of just made it into a quick little reel, TikTok, whatever you want to call it. You can see that on my TikTok page if you want to. But what we're going to be getting into is a new portrait, and I'm basically going to be following the same steps I do with all the portraits. Only difference is I feel like with black paper, there are some more challenges because rather than working on just white paper, we're applying lighter colors on top of a darker sheet of paper. And if by any chance you guys want to, use the same materials that I'm going to be using and follow along with the same thing, that's too damn bad. We ain't doing no free promo here, nigga. What the fuck you thought this was? No, I'm just playing. I'll link the stuff that I'm going to use in the description if I remember. And best know if I'm going to do all that, you always want to ask for products. Oh, what are you using? What are you using? Can you tell me what you're doing? How do you do? At least subscribe, my nigga. Like, what are we? Y'all can't even hit the little the little subscribe, support a nigga, but you want to ask for X, Y, and Z?
What kind of little bumbo clap?
Okay, first off, we're going to get started with our sketch because, duh, if you didn't know by now, that's always going to be your first step. And I decided to use a white pencil crayon because it'll just be easier for me to see. I find that when I'm drawing on black paper and recording especially, it's a lot harder because I want the light to be bright so you guys can see, but also the lighting is just a little different for me when working on black paper. Whereas when I'm using just my white sketch paper, I don't really have trouble with that. I guess the biggest issue usually is like a shadow for my hand, but other than that, I never actually have problems seeing. With this, I needed to have everything a lot brighter than usual just because I wanted you guys to be able to see while I was recording. And if you see the cat hair on my sweater, I'm gonna need you to mind your business. We got an intruder over here that just be all over my stuff, getting hair everywhere, just making my life complicated. But oh yeah, I forgot we're doing a drawing, so I kind of have to explain my thought process here. So all the way from the beginning, you see I'm kind of just blocking in everything I need and just thinking about how I'm gonna color this because I want to kind of make it easier for myself and know where I'm gonna place my colors. And if you've noticed from the previous portrait, I really do like to play with colors. So rather than me just using a brown for the skin, I will use a mix of like browns, purples, and orange. That's something I definitely learned from digital art though, just being able to play with colors and undo, redo, mix things, change it over and over so easily and accessibly. I was now able to put that into my traditional art. I feel like that's something I've definitely said in many videos before though. It's just something I've noticed all the time when I come back to draw traditionally, and I just repeat to let people know that, hey, digital can help you with traditional as well. Okay, and now that the sketch is done, we could actually get started with coloring. So first, I think I'm gonna focus on just spacing out the shadows. Why am I saying I think when I actually know? Like, this is literally pre-recorded, so I know what I'm talking about. I think I'm gonna use turquoise, nigga, you know. Because I'm gonna go with browns for the skin tone, I just like the way turquoise looks with that. I don't know, I don't really, like, when I make decisions, I find it hard to explain why I'm making the decisions because I'm so used to doing this. It just comes naturally. But I'm trying to explain it from a way where you guys can understand the knowledge behind it and then apply it to your own work. But shit, sometimes, I can't even lie to you, it's not all knowledge. Sometimes I just do things, and if it looks good, it looks good. If I had $1 for every time I tried something creative, I was like, maybe this looks like it makes sense, and it came out shit, let's just say I would be really, really rich. So really, I'm starting off with vibrant colors like the turquoise and the little bit of purple that I use to then pop up more in the end when we have more brown layered on top of it. And already you see that everything's starting to slowly fall into place. I start to just look at everything as like a puzzle, just connecting piece by piece until I get exactly what I want. However, I would look at this as just my first layer I'm going in with. Same with digital, where you have layers on top of layers. This is black paper, and I don't like this like patchy look it has. I mean, there's a time and a place if you're going for that style, but I want to still give like a opaque look to this portrait. Just like how I did with the last portrait, you see that it seems like I really got in there and like filled up the colors in the areas that I'm drawing. But right now I'm seeing the effects of the black paper, and that is definitely something you really need to keep in mind when drawing on black paper. Is just because you're using a vibrant light blue pencil crayon, it's not going to show up exactly like that on the black piece of paper. So just be prepared to have to layer over on top if you want to achieve the goal you're looking for. Another thing that I found kind of weird was when I was trying to add in the highlights, like you see in the area of the cheek and the eyebrow, I kind of had trouble, so I had to sometimes erase some of the colors I laid down. Like maybe I put a little bit too much under it, so and then putting the light blue or the little bit of white was problematic. I guess it's just different on black paper. If I was drawing on white, it's not usually an issue if I do a little bit of color and then brighten it up with another pencil crayon. But yeah, that was just another thing that I noticed as well. And even you see when I try to erase it, it kind of just smudges on the page, but it is what it is. And you guys want to know something, since you made it this far through the video? This is actually pretty old. Like, I know I said it was pre-recorded, but this is from 2024 in beginning December, so almost 2 months ago. Let's just say I was editing different things, I was working on other things, and I literally forgot about this, that I had this done, ready, just needed to be edited a bit more. So that's why you guys are getting it in 2025, okay? But let's not complain. I didn't have to share that, but I figured why not? And damn, I just realized I never mentioned anything about the reference that I'm using. Well, while I was drawing this, I was doing the sketch and I was looking at a reference, of course, and then my iPad died, and that's what I had the reference opened on. And then I just never went upstairs to grab the charger to turn the iPad back on. So I would say up until the sketch was finished, I was using this reference you see on the screen. And then when we got to coloring, I was just like, screw it, and I just went off what felt right. And I would honestly say that's probably why it doesn't look that close to the reference. I mean, we could just say this was loosely based. I don't need everything to look so realistic and accurate. Sometimes I do like to go for a stylized approach. So maybe this could just be mainly me just obviously practicing, but just referencing the pose of like the tilt of the head. Cause yeah, this is clearly a whole new person. And you know, the thing I was talking about before, where the pencil crayons actually don't show up that accurate on black paper, this is what I was talking about. Here you see I'm using like a salmon color, but because of the black paper and the color that I have underneath it, it's showing up as a light brown that I can use for the highlights in the hair. And then I also tried something a little different with the edges of the fro, like the curls at the end. I used this teal color and did like this hatching technique that kind of makes it look kind of fuzzy at the end. I don't know. It just gives this nice effect. I couldn't explain why I did it. Well, actually I did just explain why. It makes it have this like fuzzy looking effect. I don't know, I just do things and it ends up looking cool, so I like it. And then also something interesting is that the areas that are actually supposed to be black, I just treat as negative space, meaning like the dark parts in the hair and then even the eyes or the facial hair. Why would I color it in with black pencil crayon if the page is already black? So what I did is just left those areas blank and then just added in a little bit of highlights where I needed to make it, you know, look believable. Great, and that's going to be it for this video here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this process of me doing this portrait. If you're someone who frequently draws on black paper or has done it before and you have any advice for me, let me know down in the comments, because this definitely is a hassle, but I really do love the way it looks. It makes the colors pop a lot more, but I definitely will not complain about any advice any of you might have to make this easier for me. And that's really in terms of, you know, my setup, my lighting, just anything that can help me make this easier to also share with you guys. And that's technical advice I'm asking for, not drawing advice. So yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, do all the little things you need to do to support me. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.